that the one party you hate came up to you and said, here's $10 million. I need you to do this for me. Regardless of which side you're on, which belief side, whatever you're on, you're gonna do it.
No, I'm not. I'm not me, dude.
No.
I have a backbone.
You've never touched a mill, and someone comes up to you from the other side that you don't like. It could be any side.
I'm gonna say, can I do it twice?
Everybody, welcome back to a very efficient episode of the Kids Boys. Where today we're gonna be talking about efficiency. How do we all feel Elon and DOGE are doing, huh?
Fucking awesome.
Tell us about it.
It's funny because it just looks like Subin.
That's up.
Yeah, you just like have clear frames on.
How many numbers am I holding up?
5.
Close.
Yo, can we just talk about how...
Your eyes are crazy close together.
Can we just talk about...
It's kind of weird that you're not blinking that much.
Dude, it's amazing how we all thought Doge was just a meme coin.
Oh, you're talking about the crypto?
Yeah. Are we not talking about crypto?
Yeah, no, talk about the apartment.
Our views dive whenever we talk about crypto.
Yeah.
Change the subject. Nobody wants to watch us talk about
No
crypto.
one wants to
talk about that. Nobody wants to watch us talk about politics either. Yeah, to be honest, they don't. They're like, you guys are uninformed voters. You're so fucking stupid.
No, but seriously, didn't we all just thought Doge was just a regular coin? But all of a sudden, it's Department of
Government efficiency or something, right?
Efficiency.
It's pretty cool how it all turned out, yeah.
Dude, that is insanely smart. 20, 30 steps ahead. What the fuck? What are we fucking in the future?
Yes, we are definitely in the future.
Yeah, I love it.
I guess it just depends on how it all turns out. Like once it's all said and done, because they're talking about giving money back to the taxpayers.
Like 5 G's per person. You think that's gonna fly though? You think? I feel a little like nihilistic about it. I feel like that's.
Well, who knows?
Opposing
man, yeah.
argument is like, how can you trust billionaires to do anything for the people? Like they're just fattening their own pockets.
Because that's the argument against Elon right now.
The argument against Elon is what he's doing is taking out a lot of people that oppose their camp, and then they're gonna fill up the seats with everyone who are, you know, they're brown nosers.
That it doesn't. It's not what it looks like, basically. Which I understand.
But
I mean, yeah.
In my opinion, well, like you can look this up, where every president has cleaned house and put new people in. It's not.
Yeah, they don't make it a spectacle every time.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of time they quietly just delete whole departments.
So people don't get outraged and shit, right?
But it's outrage when Trump just says it. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing.
I mean, if people don't like you, no matter what you do, they're not gonna.
Exactly.
They're not gonna get on board all of a sudden.
But I think like with everything, it should be under scrutiny the same way.
Yeah.
You know.
Because I think if, let's say Kamala won and then the same thing was happening, right? The right is going to go, well, I don't trust this party. So what they're probably going to make the same argument is they're just firing all the people who are Republicans or people that are on their side, and then they're going to fill it up with all their teammates.
Yeah.
So
Same thing.
yeah.
Pause. Who did order food? There's only 6. Okay, just making sure. Okay, and resume.
Keep that in there. That's hilarious.
Thanks, Ken. Thanks for double checking. Yeah, what a guy. Versus just deleting orders.
Deleting orders. No, the food will come through. He'd be like, I don't know what happened. I ordered what you guys ordered. I do find it a little bit weird though, the way that like people are so mad that when did people get so pro government? That's weirding me out a little bit. How they're like pissed that it's being looked into at all.
Well, I think it is crazy when like for years through multiple administrations, you know, all the way Clinton, Bush, whatever, that we know like when we go to the DMV it's inefficient.
Yeah, we know it sucks.
And we apply that to almost every other government agency, and there's just so much fat that needs to be cut. Yeah. And it's almost like unanimous, but then because it's this administration that's doing it, all of a sudden people are against it.
Right. Because I thought that's what we were all united on, was that we're being screwed by our own government.
I think it's just the optics to Elon, though.
It's very radical is all, and then the manner in which it's happening means that like because so many people with powerful voices are being put under a microscope, they're being more vocal about it as well, you know? Because like before, if like, especially when it comes to like the administration and money waste and stuff, like if they did scrap something, like it wouldn't be a loud thing is all. So now those people who are like, you know, USAID or whatever, everybody's going out and being like, this is the hot point. It's like, you're cutting this thing, so you don't want to save these people's lives. You don't want to invest in these things that are good for the health and safety of the public. So it's like versus obviously if you were to step back and be like, well, the intention or the line item for why that thing existed may have been good, but the way it was happening was completely like fraudulent or whatever. Nobody wants to look at that. They're just, because if the people who are saying shit, they're gonna lose their funding, so they're gonna say like, "Oh, this is immoral. This is the reason why."
Yeah, that's like that's the response. Did you see the Social Security chart?
Yeah.
Yeah, people that are 150 years old is making money.
200 years old.
Some people are 300. Some people are older than the nation.
Yeah.
And then ironically, the argument on that is that it's like, oh, they're obviously not alive and they're not receiving that money. They're just they need to update the way that they clean the database and blah blah blah. But that's ironic because instead of being like, well, then where is that money going, or like, why don't you fix the system? It's more like, you guys are idiots. You're not reading this right, so you guys are doing a bad job of everything. And it's just complicated because of the way that people are like spinning the narrative on like what's right and wrong with the system.
So they're saying, so the counter for that is that Elon read that chart incorrectly.
Yeah, his like younger coders and people that are like working in DOGE, they're like, you guys don't understand this old code because you guys are such young bucks. And but really what it is they're not 200 people or like 200-year-olds getting money. It's just that the system is like logging people who used to get money, and this is the age that they're technically at now, even if they're dead. Yeah. That's just one of the talking
But
points.
then is that true?
But you're not a coder either. How do you know?
Yeah, because that just seems.
I think the irony about it is getting mad at DOGE and halting their ability to do their work in general versus being like, hey, look, maybe that could have been an incorrection, but this is the whole point of growing pains. Finding flaws and then like figuring out how to work and better the system. But instead of like finding a flaw and being okay with being like, okay, there's something up with that, maybe it's not fully true, like figure it out. It's like, that can't be fully true, therefore you guys are doing a really, really bad job. Stop what you're doing in general. You guys are absolutely wrong. Don't look into anything else.
I just don't understand how like the people that are inside are reporting to the outside, and then the outside responds with the correct answer. But then we wouldn't have the problem if they already knew that.
Yeah.
Right?
And you're not on the inside, so how the fuck do you
Exactly, but I'm like, then why is there an issue at all if it's common sense?
Yeah.
Like if people are like, no, you guys are idiots when you're looking it up. I'm like, well then, how much of an idiot is the guy that started this incorrect thing?
Right, I think the people that are commenting that are literally at their job on the 30 minutes break.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're all misinformed too.
Like they're literally like, oh, we got 5 more minutes left. That's wrong because I know what I'm talking about. How can I help you today, sir? Yeah, would you want 2 chicken wings today? Okay, cool. That's it. They're like, there's no. These guys are working at the register in like 5 minutes after they write that comment. They're just saying shit. I don't think they.
I'm just glad that there's actually auditing happening.
Yeah, who cares who's
like,
doing it? It's cool.
How many years have gone by where the government doesn't get audited, they lose money? Like, let's say there's a rail project or whatever that goes down, and then everyone's like, where did the money go? We just don't know. And then nobody looks into it.
Yeah.
How many states? There's every example of a project that the government gets to. They rally everyone up. They're like, yeah, we're going to build this bridge. We're going to save the homeless. Everyone's like, fuck yeah, we're all on board. You get taxed, right? And then they get like $1 billion ready to go. And then it just fizzles away. Like, and then the people that got it started, maybe the governor at the time, they're not even in power anymore. No one's watching it. And then later on you go, wait, whatever happened to that $1 billion for that train or that school or whatever? And they're like, no one knows, right? And it just becomes this thing. I think it's like the first time where one after the other, they're starting to find where the money went. And no, I don't know why people are even against that. But I do understand that if you don't trust the auditor, you feel like they're doing something that isn't honest. So like they're using this as an excuse to do something else. So there's just no faith at all.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm just thankful that someone's actually now looking into it, because for the longest time, I felt like it's so unfair that when you become so powerful in government that you can make hella mistakes and you never get fired, you never get in trouble. So there's a lot of people that are, that are elected and some people that are unelected, like a lot of people actually that didn't get voted in, that climb up the bureaucratic ladder, they make rules and laws that we have to follow. A lot of people don't even know that. We don't vote for all the rules and laws that apply to us. And I think there's a lot of shit that's like, how come like on the private side, we have to abide by these rules, but the people in power don't have to abide by those rules?
What's up, guys? We got some new offerings for you on our Patreon. As you guys know, Can be deleting footage all the time. We got missing episodes, and now we can get things from Can's recycle bin, but we're gonna release those episodes exclusively on Patreon.
Somehow, he found this footage, and a lot of times it is some of our best stuff.
Yeah.
So sign up to our Patreon to check out Can's recycle bin.
Also, we got another good one for you. It's called the JK Time Capsule. So if you've been a fan for a very long time, or if you're new to this channel, you're gonna be like, yo, there's these videos that were like really great, but where did they go? Well, we had to private them because of all these changes on YouTube. But I know some of you guys are still asking for them because they had some great jokes. They had some great memories. So we're gonna re-release those, but only for our Patreon.
Yeah, because they're really good videos, but they're not too YouTube friendly. So if you sign up for the Patreon, you can watch those videos.
But not only that, we're gonna have exclusive access for just our Patreoners to our Discord, where you can chat with us, you can ask us questions, but most importantly, you guys can also submit your topics and everything, and we'll be using those as videos for JKN.
So whatever burning question or issue or anything that you wanted us to comment on and you want to see our perspective on, or even a topic that you would love to hear us just banter on, join our Patreon and you can ask them in our Discord.
So the link is gonna be in our description box below. So see you soon on the Patreons.
Adios.
And then so if they're supposed to be elected officials that make these rules, how come half of these people who aren't elected are making rules? And then no one's looking into that. No one understands that, right? And it just blows my mind that like, hey, we're finding these issues. Why don't we talk about like, why is there $20 million being spent on condoms overseas? No one's talking about, they just go, oh, well, we need that. We need to do that for like country relations. And I'm like, I don't feel comfortable spending money, giving it to the government, and then you find out like, bro, I'd rather have that money go to like people that fucking died in a hurricane or whatever, you know, like their family, the fires, like let's help that out. Like, why is it going to fund transgender theater in like Zimbabwe? Like that shit's weird to me.
Yeah, a lot of the fun.
Is the counter argument, like you said, that people are just like the condoms overseas, whatever? Are people saying, no, Elon and them are lying that they just summed up the cost to mean condoms overseas, but it's actually deeper than that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, are they just...
I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think anytime you have a guy like Elon who's running the head of this, no matter what you're gonna say, I think most people that are outspoken, they just hate that fool.
Yeah.
Right. So they're gonna anything like you said. There's so much distrust, and it's like, yeah, was he throwing Zig Heils up at the inauguration? Yeah, that's kind of a big deal. The fact that he's doing that to now being like, oh, the agenda against trans or whatever, you could always be like, oh, dude, this guy is not. He doesn't have the country's best interest.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what a lot
Or humanity.
Exactly. A lot, and he's an evil billionaire, right? Whatever side you fall on that, I think it's because it's him that's gonna happen. If there was a no-name person, this probably wouldn't be big news.
And then it's also like hyper scrutiny as well, right? It's like if you're a fucking vegan and then you're like preaching about veganism, but then you're carrying a leather bag, it'd be easy to be like, wait, like why are you preaching so hard?
Yeah.
And I think that's also happening to not to his defense, but like if he's like saying this is inefficient, one of the arguments is people are like, okay, cool, like you cut all this stuff and like you're thinking about all this money, but you also just secured another government subsidy of the $28 million for SpaceX.
Yeah.
Right.
But then it's like if you were an Elon fan, you'd be like, well, this is necessary because blah 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 blah. But if you're a hater, you're gonna be like, that's hypocritical. Like you're saying we shouldn't have money here, but you're getting millions upon millions of dollars, even though it's not going into his pocket, but like
It's going to his companies or whatever.
or same thing. If you don't like Trump, then you're like you appointed Elon to be Doge. Where's Doge at when you're spending millions to go to like the Indy 500 or like to go watch the Super Bowl? Sitting president's never gone to a Super Bowl game, and for your motorcade or for your like Air Force One flyover or whatever, that costs millions.
That costs a lot of money
So
too.
it's just
Yeah.
like it's just a hyper scrutiny because of something so drastic and radical that's happening in the government that we've never been witness to before. Because it's easy to sweep under the rug when somebody loses like $40 billion for a railroad project and nobody can ask questions because nobody's pointing fingers anyway. But now that we're like sitting in during an administration where people are pointing fingers everywhere, now everybody's like, well, fine, I'll fucking point fingers everywhere too at everything, even if they're like not exactly correlated in a way that makes like the most sense.
Yeah, that's true because there's millions of people talking, right? So it's hard to differentiate what the opinion is of these opposing thoughts.
100%.
Because no one group is a monolith. There might be people in the middle that's kind of like, well, I think it's kind of good that Elon's doing this, but I don't trust him. And then there's people that are like, he's the fucking devil.
Yeah.
And then there's people that are like, good for him. Finally, there's someone cleaning up the government.
In one day, I'll get one person coming in the gym saying, "Did you hear what Elon's doing? They're taking AIDS medication away from people." That's one side of the spectrum. Then you get someone else coming in and being like, "Oh, they're all these people that work at the national parks, they're all losing their job." And then one person's going to come in and be like, "Have you found out that they're figuring out where all this $12 billion for these rail projects are going to?" So it's like, no matter where you are, you get so many different people coming with one story that they attach themselves to that has to do with such a big policy like the US aid, right? Yeah. But it's like, it's not just one thing. It's all of the above. But depending on where you lean politically, you only hear one side of it.
That's what it is.
And then it just gets chaotic to the point where it's like, bro, like, this is too much. I can't listen to any
I
of
can
you
tell
guys.
you who's happy. The second grade Bart is happy.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Because in second grade, the social studies, you learn about fucking, or maybe in fifth grade or whatever, but you learn all the branches, right? Judicial, executive,
Maybe actually eighth grade.
whatever, right? And you're like, the reason why there's separate branches is because there's
Checks and balances, right?
I've never seen checks and balances in my whole life until right now. So like just conceptually, even moving in that direction, I'm like, dude, that's kind of fucking tight. Regardless of who it is.
Sure.
Throw Elon out, put Jeff Bezos or fucking Dana White, but any disruptor, not like an established billionaire who's now trying to control, like a Bill Gates, but any disruptor type, because if you're talking about efficiency, you need an entrepreneur who has, in like 10 years, made $1 billion. Like a full-on disruptor. Throw anybody in there, and I think they're the most qualified for the job.
That's what's exciting to me because this is the first administration where there's like entrepreneurs that are running it, right? Previous to Trump, all the presidents have been either military or lawyers. So if we have a deficit, right, and if we need to really focus on the economy, I don't think a lawyer or a military person is fit for that role.
They don't know how to balance budgets.
I don't think, their minds work differently. Like, I think a military guy is great during World War because their mind is set and built for war, not for economy, entrepreneurship, making money, all that stuff. They're more about, survival for the country. Lawyers, they're more, made for rules and society and like what's going to be the right laws that will work out for my citizens, right? But like, there's never been a time where entrepreneurs have the freaking, lead. And then now we're trying to get the debt gone and all that stuff. All they do is fucking deal with, if they don't deal with that in their companies die. So like, that's kind of, I think they're coming in and going, all right, let me clean out all the waste or things that aren't effective. And how many people do we know work in government that work 2 hours and they got a sick ass job and they don't really have to work, but they got really good pensions and it's like, good for you, bro. But we all know at least one person that's, not working that hard and they're milking the fuck out of that job. So it's, to me, I'm like, hey, individually, good for you, but is it honorable? You know what I mean? Sure, we have that in the private sector too, but at the same time, man, I don't know. Especially if we're in debt, like, should we have some of these pointless jobs?
We'll see how it all shakes out because it's like, that's the one thing is that, because we all know people start in a role one way with the best intentions and then eventually it morphs to something else completely. Right? So we all know that happens, and that's why it's like, for Americans, we don't trust any political leader for that reason, or anytime they get involved in politics, because they kind of prove to you over time that they say one thing to get in office and then it completely shifts and changes into something that it's unrecognizable.
Yeah, like Biden,
or just any president. Like you could literally put any president on a board.
No, it's all
Any
president.
president, any
Biden is
administration,
horrible, yeah.
and it's like it's on us, the citizens, to like put that shit under scrutiny and call it out, right? And I think it's really important to like not keep anybody as like darlings of.
Exactly.
Yeah, nobody's a god.
You shouldn't do that.
But you see that with the people, whether it's on social media or when they talk about their favorite political pundits. There's like this air of
Like they can't do no wrong.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that as long as we don't think like that, I think it'll be like
Yeah, that's why I really respect the like if this is true. I mean, from the opposing opinion, I kind of like this idea because I think it's so devious. But if you're able to achieve your world goals and hide it behind what looks like an audit, that's pretty fucking genius.
That is freaking genius.
I will say, not that he's doing that, but like I do.
But that's also on the table, like, and we have to understand, like, think about, like, that could.
I think that's way smarter than any past.
And it
office
can
ever
happen
did.
because think of how many presidents and team people
Yeah.
they use that as a veil.
Yeah,
Right?
right.
Like Obama got into office because he said he was going to end the wars. Everyone believed in it.
Yeah.
We had
I don't even
hope.
remember that he said that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I almost wish that they can accomplish their fucking evil, devious goals
And just lie to us
but
all the time?
still help us.
Yeah.
Because so far it's just been they accomplish, like, Pelosi, right? They accomplish their own evil, devious goals, but doesn't help us.
Yeah.
So I'm like, they're gonna have their evil goals anyways.
We just gotta
but
follow her
help us.
picks because I bought one of these stocks that
Yeah,
she bought
it's
into,
pretty safe.
and I'm up. I'm up like 30%.
Yeah, Pelosi Capital, dude. Just follow her trades. You'll make a lot of money.
Don't forget about Benghazi, though.
Benghazi capital?
Benghazi, right?
What?
Pelosi's bitch ass over there.
That was her fault.
That's all her, bro.
The 13 Hours movie.
Yes.
I thought it was Clinton.
No,
It was Pelosi too, huh?
Pelosi, bro. She made that deal with Libya, and look what happened. She's the one that said, and you heard what she said at the end?
No.
Of the movie?
No, not the movie. When she got confronted about
No, what? What'd she say?
it happened. It just she said, well, too bad it happened.
I think it's actually kind of stupid to believe that
Yikes.
anyone does anything for the benefit of the people.
Yeah.
I believe that everyone does everything for the benefit of their themselves or their group.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
That's the way that's how humans are.
Yeah.
You just hope that whatever they benefit from,
Yeah.
it also trickles to your camp.
Like I hope they're gaining what they want through a real audit than a fake audit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Here's my thing though. I went up to a bunch of companies. I was with a homie, right, and they had a company and everything. I told them at the end of the day, regardless of which side they believe in, right? If the one party you hate came up to you and said, "Here's $10 million. I need you to do this for me." Regardless of which side you're on, which belief side, whatever you're on,
I'm gonna do it.
you're gonna do it.
No, I'm not. I'm not me, dude.
No.
I have a
$10
backbone.
million.
I have a backbone.
You've never touched a mill, and someone comes up to you from the other side that you don't like. It could be any side.
I'm gonna say, can I do it twice?
How many times can I do that? Yeah. How many times?
Can I just do this forever now?
That's true.
Oh, I'll do that. Yeah.
Right? Here's the thing.
I'll do this 10 more times.
Check it out. At the end of the day, that money comes right in front of you. $10 million? $10 million fucking dollars. You're gonna take it.
Fuck yeah.
I still don't think there's even sides. I think we imagine there's sides, but you really don't think a two-party system learned how to benefit when the other's in power by now?
No, that's what
Like, come on. Like, you don't think they got something going?
Like Trump
You think
was,
they really just
Trump
wait?
was laughing and hanging
Yeah.
with Obama, like
Exactly.
And then they're like, and there's pictures of them when Trump's kids are with Hillary, and like that. It's what George Carlin said. It's a big fucking club, and we're not a part
Exactly.
of it.
It's just class.
Yeah.
We're on the outside looking in.
Yeah, there's no two-party thing. It's like a roulette table.
That's why it's stupid to be so fucking hardcore, like a zealot toward any camp, because they don't give a fuck about you. They're using us, right? But at the same time, you can't be so cynical to the point where you gave up on America.
That's the message.
And then you can't like the weird thing is like you're voluntarily allowing you to have a smaller network by not getting along with people over these guys.
Yeah.
Like they don't give a shit about you, man. Like you're not now you just have less friends and less people to ally with.
Yep.
Like that's not smart.
We're getting fucked at them. That's why I said. That's why the whole message was, fuck the side.
Yeah, just be cool with everybody. Yeah.
We gotta come together, but at the end of the day, you gotta follow the money. You gotta follow. Where's the money? You gotta follow the trail where the money's coming from.
We can't let them divide us, brothers and sisters.
Support small businesses.
Lionheart, Jutsu Academy.
J Jewelers.
Fish bang noodles.